Today we're walking in the mountains for a camp.
That's it, we're up here in
A wild camp.
a wild camp up in Alpine country. It was a bit sketchy getting here, the roads were a little sketchy, but we're here now. Beautiful country, beautiful weather. We're going to check out some streams, some waterfalls, and we're going to check out an old hut here in high country. And we're going to spend the night. We're looking forward to it. Come along for the journey. Ethan has Miffy's there, tucked in safely with his seatbelt, ready for the journey. Can't leave Miffy at home, can we? Alpine country here is one, if not the biggest, wilderness areas in Victoria. And the Alpine National Park, the largest park in this southern state, we are talking 1,600,000 acres of parkland and remote wilderness. Forests, canyons, gorges, mountains, high plains. This truly is a rugged landscape, and large sections can often become impassable in winter months when the place freezes over. Many adventurers have been coming out to this wilderness area to get their nature kick over the years, and it's good to know what you're doing out here and be prepared for anything. Absolutely love the colours on these gums. These would be snow gums, I reckon. And this whole area in the winter would just have snow, covered in snow, and I reckon the trees would look so beautiful, the colours of them. Want to take your backpack off? Makes you feel safer. Wow! There's that waterfall. You stay behind the rail though, yeah? You fell. That's why we're going to stay behind you. So, I mean, there are steep cliffs and gorges here. I've told Ethan he just needs to stick to the track because, I mean, you fall down there, you're done. It's incredible. I mean, this is a wild landscape out here. This is really wild. Unreal.
Wait, Dad, what's that white thing?
It's water.
What's that one?
So have a look at the bowl on this tree. That is incredible. That's one of the biggest I've seen. You stay right there and I'll just see how close I can get. Ooh, that's a drop, I tell you that. Being on the edge of huge cliffs and gorges has a way of humbling you. It makes you feel very small. It makes you realise how vulnerable you really are. I think this is why so many of us go up into the mountains, to be drawn into something bigger and outside of yourself. The man who is happiest is the one who thinks of himself less and is captured by the beauty of the world more. Just on the edge of the waterfall here, massive drop down there. Ethan's just sitting up there, he's being a bit safe. He's really good, he's very cautious, so I don't really have to worry too much, but I'm keeping an eye on him. This is incredible. This is
Everything's got it wrong. God, why do we camp here?
It is a beautiful campsite that we've just stumbled upon, and it's literally right on the edge of this incredible view, and I reckon be a nice place to camp, but we're going to push on to the hut. That's where I really want to camp, at the hut.
Why is it so cheap?
Jeez, it goes down deep. So we're just resting by this little creek, and we're going to head on over to where we're going to camp tonight, somewhere around this high country hut. I don't know if anyone's going to be there. Hopefully we'll have it to ourselves. If not, we can wild camp anywhere. We can just find a nice spot and camp there. So Ethan's doing a great job. It's probably about a 10k loop. You know, not big for someone who's older, but for Ethan, you know, it's a good walk for him, especially with him carrying stuff on his back. So I'm pretty happy with him, and he's been positive and done a good job. But we're almost there. Let's go. Ethan, tell me, what do you think makes this big footprint here? It's in the ground just here. Who do you think makes that? What kind of an animal?
Dinosaur?
A dinosaur? No. What's a big animal that might live out here? It's a wild horse.
Hmm?
There's wild horses out here.
Oi.
Brumbies, they call them. Yep. Good job. Do you see something, do you?
The hut!
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
That's where we're staying tonight. Here's our hut. Wow. This has history right here. Fantastic. These high country huts were built from the mid-1800s to the 1900s as shelter from the harsh conditions for those early settlers who came for summer grazing, fishing, logging, or even mining. This particular hut was for cattle grazing, and out here, mustering on horseback, life would have been hard. Lots of the materials used to build these huts would have been resourced from the local area. And there is also evidence that these huts had visits and occupation from local indigenous people over the years. They really are a special window into our history and are unique places to come and visit. Alright, so here we are inside the hut. It's got a pretty good fireplace there, doesn't it? Do you want to sit in the seats? Miffy's got a seat there. Ethan's got a seat. This is awesome. Beautiful. Fireplace.
We can sit here.
Bit of dried wood here. What have I got? Oh, look at that. I've got saws for cutting, perfect for cutting firewood. It's got everything in here. So, these high country huts, you're allowed to use them for day use. You actually are allowed to have fires in there. Obviously you want to be respectful, be careful. You're not meant to sleep in them unless emergency situation, so we will be pitching our tent outside. We won't be sleeping inside. But yeah, we're allowed to cook up in here, just as long as we're respectful, keep the place clean, look after it. But yeah, they're beautiful, these high country huts, and it's my first time to come to one and explore one, and I'm sure I'll come and visit plenty more, I reckon, because yeah, it's unreal. What are you doing, Ethan? That's where you can sleep in an emergency.
Oh.
Beautiful. We ran out of drinking water on this walk to get here. We've got a little bit left, but we've got a creek just here, so I thought I'd just boil up this creek water just so we can have some drinking water for tomorrow morning. So because we are pretty remote, we're out in alpine country, and you know, there's no phone reception out here. You wouldn't want to get into trouble. I thought I'd just let you know what I do for safety, because you know, traveling with my kids now, taking them out to these wild places, you do want to be a bit safe. So my family back at home know my full plans. They know exactly the map where I'm going to be walking. They know what time I should be home. Also, I have a PLB just in case something happens, snake bite, break a leg, can't get out, need emergency service to come to us. This is last resort, but it's good to just have it. Snake bite kit, got to have that out in the bush. And then I just have a first aid kit here as well, bandages, gauze, that kind of stuff. Yeah, just in case. It's good to, you know, play it safe, especially when I got the little ones out here now. So I never used to do that when I was young. I was pretty, I guess I was a bit reckless in my 20s, but now that I've got kids of my own, I really want to do it right and play it safe and be responsible.
Oh my gosh. Dad, but I won't be able to see the fire.
So one thing that was tiring is I'm essentially carrying gear for 2 people. Now you think Ethan's small, so he doesn't need, you know, big stuff, but it's the same size sleeping bag liner, mat for Ethan. I'm carrying all these things for him, yeah, because he can't carry it on his back. So that's why my pack is so big and bulky, just for an overnighter. You know, it looks like I'm going for a week's expedition, but that's the reason why my bag is very big. I want him to be comfortable out here because it will get cold at night. So, you know, we've brought some warm gear. But yeah, anyway, that's how it is. I have a bit of a sore back. I got a bit of a drink for tonight. West City Brewing. This is a Oaty Stout. I'm not really a stout drinker, but I thought stout's a good hearty beer for, you know, when it's very, very cold. Funny story about these drinks. My dad actually did a deal. He sold his farm gate for a bunch of cases of these. So looking forward to drinking this. What I'm going to do though to cool it down, to make it nice and chilly, is I'm just going to put it in this little stream here, just in this little rocky area, so it's safe. It's not going to disappear on me. And then when I'm ready for it, I'll take it out. Starting to get a bit cold now, isn't it?
And I'm still cold.
Are you hungry?
Yep.
I think it's time to cook up. So the Akubra has been swapped for the beanie. It's getting to that kind of time. It's only April, but it's getting chilly already. Imagine what this must be like in the middle of winter. And for tonight, we decided that we are going to have a fire outside. Ethan wanted to have a fire outside, so I can sit around the fire while he's in the tent just there. And then in the morning, we'll have our breakfast cook up in the hut. I reckon that'll be fun. So for dinner, just doing your, you know, your normal hiking meal, freeze-dried meal. You know how these work. Just add boiling water. And this is butter chicken, the Outdoor Gourmet Company. So we'll see how that works. But tomorrow morning for breakfast, I've got something a bit special for a cook up. But yeah, this is what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. There we go. As quick as that. Yeah, and then we're going to put it in the grass here like this. cup. Mix that all up. So, funny story, we got a flame going, we got a little fire going, but the sticks we were putting on were just too wet and it died off pretty quickly, and then I used up all my charred cloth pretty quickly and then nothing was catching, so I did have matches. I'm like, I'll just use the matches. Trying to get the fire going, it was struggling because everything's a bit wet. I started running out of matches. I started getting a bit nervous because I don't have a lighter on me. But in the end I just said I've got to start from scratch, and went and collected some eucalyptus bark and just started real small and built it up, and we got it going in the end. But just goes to show, you know, you should bring multiple tools with you, so have multiple methods of starting fire. You know, it'd be a pretty miserable night if we're out here and didn't have a fire going. So it's nice and warm now.
Oh, where is it?
It's here, mate.
Where?
Alright, buttered chicken for dinner. Ooh-wee. Is it alright? It's not bad. Doesn't have to. Alright, time for this Oaty Stout. Give it a crack, I reckon. It's good. There's something calling out there. I don't know if it's wild dogs. I've got to work out what the call is, but yeah, we're out in the middle of nowhere and it's kind of spooky when you hear these noises, but that's what it's like being out in the bush. But wouldn't want a pack of wild dogs coming through, but we'll be alright. Anyway, I'm probably just going to sit by the bush telly for a little bit, and Ethan's in the tent sleeping and it's quite cold, but yeah, I'll see you in the morning. Ethan, come out.
I just woke up.
Good morning, Ethan. How are you? Look how cold it was last night. Look at the ice. Oh, it was cold, wasn't it?
There's even some ice on the ground.
Alright, well last night was pretty brutal. Went to bed with all these howling dogs, wild dogs around us, but then in the night it just got so cold. I reckon it got to a point where at around 2 o'clock Ethan and I woke up. We just put on every layer of clothing we had, and
I reckon it reached 0 degrees because, you know, there is ice on the tent. You can see frost across the landscape and it looks absolutely beautiful, but I tell you what, it was a cold night. I've spent 10 years in Africa, and so having a cold night like this when I've been living in the tropics to coming here, yeah, it was fairly brutal, but we got by. We just got by with what we had. But I think probably won't do another camp up here in the high country until maybe I don't know, the end of the year when it starts warming up a bit, because I don't know if my gear can handle it really. We really just got by with what we had. So
and the ice on my shoes from walking through the grass.
that's the bucket of water I left out last night. Look at that. That's how cold it was. And for breakfast, we're going to have a delicious cook-up of, we've got beef patties, bacon, halloumi cheese. We're going to have like a brekkie bun, a nice brekkie bun with a bit of fruit chutney on top. Alright, hopefully you can see that, but what we have here, we have a beef patty, goes first, then a bit of bacon on top, some halloumi cheese, and that looks awesome. And then we've got fruit chutney as well.
No.
Yum.
Where's fruit chutney?
It's on there, mate. And look at that. That is a good way to start the day after a very cold night. Have a bite, Ethan.
The overwhelming feeling I got on this trip was a deep respect for people from past generations. They were hardy folk, the men, women and children. I mean, it was tough going just to get here today. Imagine doing it 100 years ago, let alone the idea of living out here for the early settlers. And then thinking about the indigenous communities who roamed these lands for so many years, it's just staggering. I think we have grown a bit soft in our modern era, often complaining about trivial things, and a little bit of reminding ourselves on generations past can go a long way in cultivating gratitude today. Something I hope Ethan can pick up on these trips.
And make sure it's fully out. Alright, so that's it for this video. We're going to pack up. We've got a 4-hour drive ahead of us to get home. Battery in my camera is just about to run out as well, but it's been a beautiful trip. This has been a wild experience. I love Alpine country now. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, a comment. If you've not subscribed, subscribe. It helps out the channel to grow. And yeah, have a good one. See you in the next video.